What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Combat Sports Media YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about, breaking down, and giving out a prediction for the upcoming Badou Jack versus Noel Mikaelian WBC Cruiserweight World Title fight. Now, it's going to happen tonight in Los Angeles, and this is actually a rematch. Their first fight was extremely close and controversial. Noel Mikaelian ended up dropping a decision to Badou Jack. It took place in Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken. It was a pretty good fight, very competitive, and Noel started out really strong, but he faded down the stretch, and that's where it got Badou at the same time was able to pick it up and perform well down the stretch, outperform Noel down the stretch. Now, prior to this, Badou Jack was the WBC champion, and what happened was, I guess he was going on a big hiatus, so he was made the Noel fought for the WBC interim version on the title. And what happened was, after one of the WBC conventions, Badou Jack was reinstated as the actual champion, and so therefore they ended up fighting each other to figure out who the real champion is, so to speak, a few months back. And since it was such a controversial fight, and I guess to Noel's luck, he was able to secure a rematch. Now, I don't know if that was something in the contract, or if that was just something that the WBC enforced on their own, but I'm glad it's happening because it's a fight that does deserve a rematch. And a lot of times, or in fact most of the time, fights that do deserve a rematch a lot of times don't get to see one, so that's good. Now, going on to the styles, for those of you that have not seen Noel Mikaelian fight before, he only has 3 losses. They're all very controversial, and he is a former champion, and he has a really good right hand, and he could, in my opinion, easily fight at heavyweight, and is much naturally bigger than Badou Jack. Mikaelian is about 6'3", 6'4". I met him in person. I trained alongside him at the Miami 5th Street Gym like 4 or 5 years back. Nice guy and everything, but he's big. I think he could even fight at heavyweight if he wanted to. But at the same time, he's fleet-footed and athletic. Normally, guys that big aren't as athletic like he is. Not only is he athletic, but he's got good hand speed, and he's got a really good right hand. The only thing is, he faded down the stretch in the first fight, and that's because he took the fight on short notice, which is something I forgot to mention. He, I believe, only had 3 weeks of notice going into that fight, because originally, I believe, Badou Jack was going to fight Rozicki, and I believe Rozicki ended up pulling out, and Noel pretty much like saved the show by coming in at last minute and fighting Badou Jack on the Riyadh season card, which is maybe why he's getting rewarded with the rematch, because he really did do the promoter and the WBC a good service by stepping in on 3 weeks' notice for a world title fight. That's not ideal. You want a full camp going into a world championship. I understand that some of us have to take what we can get, but he was already up there in the rankings. He was going to get a shot no matter what. He was already in the interim. He didn't have to do it. So he's getting rewarded for being a team player. And Badou Jack, on the other hand, a smart veteran. In my opinion, argue. You know what? I don't know. He's arguably a Hall of Famer. If someone wants to put him in the Hall of Fame after his career is over, I'm not going to have a problem with it. He's about 6'1", so he's naturally smaller. He's won world titles at super middleweight, light heavyweight, and now at cruiserweight. So he's carving out a great career for himself. He's a good boxer puncher, but the thing with him is, and you can tell by the amount of draws and the close fights that he has, and a lot of times it's because he's just simply not, he just doesn't put the pedal to the metal when it's time to do so sometimes. And he lets the guy work, his opponents work their way back into fights. But other than that, very disciplined guy, a true sportsman, and that's why he's still at the world-class level at, I believe, 42 years of age, and 3-division world champion, So going on to my prediction, I have to go with Noel Mikaelian, because this time around, unlike the first time, he's going to have a full training camp to get ready for Badou Jack. He already knows what he has in front of him because he fought him the first time, and it was an extremely close fight. He started out really good, and he was doing great. He just couldn't keep it up and let Badou Jack slowly but surely work his way back into the fight down the stretch because of the lack of conditioning. And I believe that lack of conditioning came from the 3-week camp. So with a full camp, which he's definitely had this time around, I do expect him and his trainer Pedro Diaz to come through this time around with a clear decision win. And the Armenian fans in Los Angeles, I know, will definitely be in the house, which will be in his favor, obviously.